Hi everyone. My name is Clara, and today we're going to be addressing stress. With everything going on right now between Corona, killer wasps. By the way, I don't know what that is. I just read about it. And then there's like the end of schools happening, and there's just a lot going on, and it's not just exclusive to what's been going on now. But it can also be just daily life because I know before this happened, I was stressed. After this, I'll probably still be a little stressed, but I'm hoping less because now I have some like coping mechanisms that are healthy. I mind you that please stick with healthy coping mechanisms for stress. Like I cannot stress that enough. Let's start off with a few fun facts about stress just so we can address really what's going on. So here are some factors that go into stress and a little bit about it. So stress affects 40 million adults, and that's only like reported cases because only 40% of people with stress actually say, hey, I have stress, or hey, I have anxiety. So there's a lot more than that. It's just a lot of people tend to be ashamed to admit it. And I think that we should normalize stress and anxiety and depression. But I mean, my generation personally, I don't know a single person that doesn't have stress, anxiety, depression, like one of those things. Everyone has one of them just because it's a stressful time period, I guess. So you may ask, what causes stress or anxiety? Well, it could be brain chemistry because it's actually hereditary. So personally, I've been diagnosed with anxiety. So has my mom and my mom's mom. For me, it's a mix of anxiety and the other thing, but it can also be traumatic life events such as like your parents getting divorced, bullying, just anything, or it could be as little as, oh, I failed a test and I'm afraid I'm going to fail this one, so now I have test anxiety. And that brings us to our next topic. Also, you may have noticed, I don't know if you can see it, but I actually have some note cards, and it goes into like anxiety, and we will get into that next. So let's talk about the different types of stress. So there are 5 main types of anxiety. There's like smaller types that are less likely, but I'm just going to talk about the 5 main types because I don't want to bore you guys too much. So the first type is general anxiety. So this has little to no provoke, and it's like, you know how like when you were little, you went off a diving board for the first time and you were like, oh, this is really scary, and like it's scary. Yeah, that is general anxiety. Almost everyone has this at one point in their life. It's normal, it's fine, but there are things you can do to help it. There's also OCD, which is compulsive, and it's like, my sister has OCD, so she has to lock every door a certain amount of times until it feels perfect, or when she turns on and off her light, it has to be like a certain amount of times or until it feels right. This can be caused by a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into that though because that's off topic. There's also panic disorder, which is one of the things that I have, which is repetitive, unexpected episodes. An episode looks different for everyone, but me personally, I start like out of nowhere. I just break down. I cry, I shake, I pace back and forth. I lie down in a ball and just, it's a little scary for some people to watch. It's scary for me to happen because I get this deep feeling in my chest and stomach. Not very pleasant. So, if you're having a panic attack, it may look like that, or there's other things that could happen too, because like it could look like that, or it could just be this. I've had a panic attack that looks like that too. Not all of them are very visual, but you'll know when it happens. There's also social anxiety, which is also a thing I have, which is why I have these cards, because I have a really hard time talking in front of people, and I stutter and I mess up, which is why I like to have stuff in front of me that can just keep me on topic, because like I also have ADHD, so it's like I get distracted super easily, and stuff like this just pulls me back in. So yeah, hold on, I have to look at my list of stuff to talk about. Next, we're going to talk about, ways to help. So, yeah, let's get into that. And this is like what the purpose of this video is. I just thought I'd give you like a little background knowledge. Okay, so on my list here, our first thing is listen to music, try yoga, and meditate. Now, if you're going to meditate, the first time is always super difficult because your mind is racing, you can't stay focused, and I've tried personally. I'm not great with meditation because I don't stay focused and it's just really hard for me, but like there's this app called Calm. It looks like, hold on, that right there, words. Okay, yeah. Personally, like, they have, like, relaxing sounds, meditation, stories. I use it all the time. Super helpful. Highly recommend. And then if you're gonna do yoga, start off simple and work your way up, because there are some, like, scary yoga moves. Personally, I do yoga. I love it. And it kind of goes with our next thing, which is get exercise and sleep. So, exercising is known to help certain people with anxiety. Something about like the brain chemistry or like distracting your mind, putting yourself towards something and having a goal. Also, lack of sleep can cause anxiety, so it's important to get the like recommended hours of sleep, even though I know it's hard with all your homework and stuff like that, but sometimes it's a good idea just to say, you know what, I've done what I can, I'm just going to go to bed and I will worry about this tomorrow and I will talk to my teacher. Or email her if you don't want to talk to her in person. Or him. Not exclusive here. There's also eat healthy, and that's also been proven to help because having like a junky diet where like you only eat fast food, candy, and like stuff that's not good for you, it's all very linked. So, eat healthy. Also limit caffeine. Caffeine is caffeine is known to cause stress later on in life. So it could be hitting you now right away, or it could have been from past, but limit caffeine. I'm personally guilty of this. I love my coffee and my tea, but it's best to like balance it out with a bunch of water or just limit your general intake. Another thing you can do is to get involved in something like a club, a sport. You could try drawing or anything just to keep your mind distracted. Because if you're doing something else, you're not going to think about what's stressing you out. Another thing is just general time management. So like personally, I suck at time management. I will start something and then zone off and end up doing something completely off topic and I don't get my work done. But there's another app. I'm just going to introduce you to a bunch of apps today. It is called Forest. It is right there. It is amazing. So basically what you do is you get this little tree and you can adjust the time and it's how long you stay focused for. I've done a lot over the past year, and it's only not that far into the year, but it is super helpful to keep you on track because if you leave the app to go on to a different app like Instagram, Snapchat, I don't even know, then your tree will die and you lose points, and it really helps keeping you on topic for that certain amount of time. There's also deep breaths and counting. Like if it's mid-panic attack, you could take deep breaths, and counting helps some people, and you can count by any number you like. Personally, I do 5s. I love the number 5 because I just do like 5, 10, 15, 20 until as high as I can until I feel a bit better and I can go like communicate with people, or I will also like there's also 10s or 1s or whatever, and then deep breaths, like count your breaths, and like I usually do 4 seconds in, hold for 3, 4 seconds out. And I've known that to help quite a bit. Next card. I highly recommend that you learn your triggers as well. So we will get into that in a bit, but there's also gardening and talking to people. I also garden. I have a bunch of plants in my room. It is just super rewarding and calming. You know, plants are super cool because you can watch them grow and it's super relaxing. There's also talking to people like a therapist, a trusted adult. You could even talk to yourself in like a journal. I keep a journal. Like, I find it helpful, but again, not everyone will. And so, yeah, let's talk about some of the triggers for stress so you can recognize what may be causing you stress. Okay, so some triggers that I have looked up or that I've experienced myself are social interactions, which goes along with social anxiety. So, like doing presentations, talking to people, just like anything extremely social, it can be hard to deal with, or like presentations. I don't know if I already said that. I might have. I honestly don't remember. And yeah, so that could be something that like you learn, they make you anxious, and then you can learn a coping mechanism to go along with that. There's also loud noises or things moving super fast. That kind of goes along with PTSD, but it can also be like generalized stress because, like, again, me personally, loud noises just, I don't like them. So I have a thing with that where like I can just listen to music and I will be fine. There's also too much going on in your life. So you could cut back on a few things. Even like if you love it, you can go back to it later. So like between school, sports, working a job, taking care of your family, cooking, just all of it, maybe you could cut down on some stuff. Like maybe you could go to easier classes in the future if that's what's stressing you out, or you could like I don't know, that is honestly up to you to figure out. But it really does help to know what your stresses are. There's also being bullied, and I would like to clarify, being bullied is not exclusive to just your peers. Your parents can bully you, teachers can bully you. I've never experienced teachers bullying me, or I've never actually seen a teacher bully a student, but it happens. And it does include peers. Like your friends may bully you without you even realizing it just because you're so close and you look right past it, and that is causing you deep underlying stress. It could also be relationships with people who aren't the best in your life at the moment. There's also not just having enough time in the day, which kind of goes along with time management. So on that, I would highly recommend like making a schedule. I have one. I don't always stick to it, but like I have a set wake up time, a set bedtime, set lunchtime, set all that. For all of my online school classes, I actually have like time periods where like I'll do math for this long, this for this long, so on. And then I also have a time at the end of the day where I'm just, you know what? This is my time to catch up on work that I didn't complete in that time, just so you don't overwhelm yourself. Yeah. So there's plenty of stressors. There's more than that. Those are just a few basic ones because I don't want to keep you busy for too long. I want to keep this short and keep you like intrigued. So yeah, there's also a few other things I would like to touch up on. So let's see here. What can anxiety look like? Also, I'm reaching over to read off my computer now because I took some notes on there as well. I'm just gonna move this over here a bit. I don't know if you can see that. But so yeah. So anxiety can affect your physical and emotional health. I already kind of touched base on this where like you're feeling stressed, your stomach is going to hurt. I personally experienced that and it caused a lot of trauma to my stomach and I actually had to have 2 surgeries. So try to manage your stress before it gets too far. It's your body's reaction to change in your environment. So like if you're having a dramatic change, that could cause stress. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, I would like to touch base. Stress is almost always originated from something in the future or uncertainty or something in the past that you're stressed over already happening. My advice for if it's about the past is just realize like, hey, it's in the past, I can't change it, it's okay, life keeps going, I'll just move forward and like life will work itself out. But if it's about the future, just try to stay in the present. It's like, here's an example, a math test. Before the math test, you may be stressed about the test because you didn't study. But when you're doing the test, you may not feel as stressed because you're just doing your thing, trying your best, just getting it over with. But then after the test, you might stress about your grades. So see, it's before and after, but during the present, you feel better. So just try to stay in the present and focus on the here and now. It really helps a lot of people, and I would try that. It's also like a little change, like a little stress is actually good. It keeps you motivated on topic, but too much can be harmful and unhealthy, and people just, you gotta deal with it. If you don't manage it in a healthy way, it can lead to severe distress that can lead to anxiety. So that, like, generalized stress can lead and get worse and worse and worse and worse until you're like at the point of no return, which I think that there is no such thing as that. But apparently there have been some cases where you get so stressed that it just sticks and it does not go away no matter what you do. So just try not to let it go that far. A lot of people resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as shopping, drugs, alcohol, and yes, shopping is another healthy coping mechanism. It's compulsive shopping and you just go all out and it's really not healthy. It'll drain your bank account and everything you need. There's also alcohol, self-harm, overeating, undereating, and gambling. Those are just a few that I've heard of, seen, or got off the internet. And none of them are good for you. And if you try to find a healthy coping mechanism, you may not resort to those and you might save your own life. So just try to find healthy coping mechanisms. And the things that stress is a loop. So everything kind of builds up and then you get over it and then you realize, oh wait, it's building up again. It's just like a loop. You go over and over, it's repetitive. Stress will never 100% go away, but you can deal with it in the moment. So yeah, again, stay in the present. You got this.